I'm short, but there's so many of you here. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day, out of your lives, because you know what's at stake here. Today's decision is a shock, but this exact moment has been 50 years in the making from the moment that Roe was handed down. It's taken them years of focused determination, dedication, unified vision to get here. And those of us, any of us who have wanted to be polite, to change the conversation, have helped them to get here. They put in a lot of hard work to get anti-choice leaders elected to public office in local and state offices. Hard work to get anti-choice judges and prosecutors into office who would be in place today to uphold trigger bans like the one we have in our Commonwealth. It's taken a recognition on their side that we have simply lost sight of. A complacency that has let us think until this very moment that a Supreme Court decision from 1973 would always protect us. That a Democratic majority in the House, Senate, or presidency would always protect us. But we didn't hold them accountable when they did not codify the right to abortion access. We've elected people on both sides of the aisle who chose their personal beliefs or their political careers over the safety of the people that they swore to protect. And we have lost sight of our state legislatures, which have now become the ultimate arbiters of our fate, every single one of us here. Today, we have lost the right to govern our own bodies. And I want to say this very, very clearly. Kentucky has got to save itself. Nobody is coming to save us. If you have been on the sidelines of this issue, if you have been polite, if you've been politically correct, that time is over. This is not just about rape and incest. I want to repeat, this is not just about rape and incest. It is not about freedom in degrees or only for a certain few. It is about the fundamental human right to determine the course of our own lives, to live in a free society where the will of the majority dominates. What we've got here today is the will of a minority of people in our Commonwealth and in our country who have worked to impose a narrow religious view on everybody else. What we have today is no longer a democracy, it's a theocracy. And it is exactly the kind of place that our founding fathers sought to escape. It's taken them 50 years to get here. It's not going to take us that long to take back our rights, is it? It's not going to take us that long. Some of you may not be thinking about elections right now. You may not be thinking about voting or candidates or how important every single election is. But every single election on a city, state, and national level has gotten us to where we are here today. We still have the right to vote. They're working goddamn hard to make sure we don't have it. But we still have the opportunity to show up determined and unified. We lose when we don't vote. Because this is not about abortion. It's about birth control. It's about who we're allowed to love. This is a fight that we are all in, whether we realize it, whether we like it or not. This November, as you've heard, we have a chance, one chance to take it back, because the right to abortion access is on the ballot. A constitutional amendment is on the line. What does that mean? If we don't vote it down, it will change the Constitution of Kentucky so that the power to change our state laws, like the trigger ban or HB 3, are out of the hands of our elected state representatives. This is going to be a matter of turnout. So if you're angry today, if you're outraged today that you or your children have to live in a world where laws are based on someone else's ideology, then join us today. Support the work. right now to the Protect Kentucky Access Fund. Donate to the Kentucky Health Justice Network Abortion Fund. Volunteer, organize, be loud, be seen. But most importantly, make sure that you work your asses off to get people elected to office who will not let you down, who will see your value as free-thinking human beings. That's not a lot to ask for. Who will support policy that doesn't hurt you and will fight as hard as they can, wherever and whenever they can, against policies that seek to do you harm. This fight is just beginning. We know what we've got to do. We won't get there overnight, but we've got to get there together. So stand together, stand tall, show up and vote. Don't give up. Let's take our power back.
Thank you, Rep. Kulkarni. And the fact that you all are still here an hour in, as hot as it is, in the heat wave of Louisville. That's right. Next up, we have Senator Morgan McGarvey.
All right. It is hot. So I'm going to keep it short and I'm going to keep it real. Charles is right. It's isn't about abortion. This is about power. It's about control. It's about access. It's about health care. And it's about taking those things away from women. This is a major deprivation of rights for women in this country. It's bullshit! You said it. I can't believe that my daughters have fewer rights than their grandmother does today. We can't stop. We won't stop. Because they won't stop. Keep going! Keep going! This does not end with Roe v. Wade. You saw Clarence Thomas say in his opinion, they're coming after birth control. They're coming after marriage. We've got to do the hard work. And look how they did it. 4 of the 5 justices who made this deprivation of rights were appointed by a president who didn't even get the majority of the vote. There's more of them than us. That's what they're afraid of. But we've got to do the hard work. We've got to show up at the polls. I told you I was going to keep it real, and I am. That doesn't mean Twitter. I'm talking hard work. Don't think you can get on Twitter and complain to your friends that you're angry and you're going to change things this November. Knock on somebody's door. Give somebody a ride to the polls. Donate to a candidate. Donate to an organization. Show up in force. Because the law in Kentucky today is cruel. It is extreme. If you are a teenage woman who is raped by a family member, you are forced to give birth in Kentucky today. We can't let that stand. So we won't. Get out there and work. Support the brave senators and representatives like you see up here. David Yates, Keturah Hara, Pamela Stevenson, Josie Raymond, Lisa Wellner, Nima Kulkarni, Karen Byrd, Joni Jenkins. Make them the majority of the State House, not the minority of the State House. Support our brave people on the Metro Council, Jennifer Chappell, Bill Hollander, Cassie Chambers Armstrong, David James. Keep them in the majority here in Louisville. Let's beat Rand Paul. And make Senator Charles Booker from Kentucky a reality. something too. Let's keep this congressional seat blue while we're at it. But don't neglect our city leaders either. We've talked about the state, we've talked about federal. We need to have a mayor right here in Louisville who is willing to protect women's rights. Get out and vote. Get out and work. Craig Greenberg, come say a few words.
Thanks, Morgan. Today is a devastating day for people in Louisville, Kentucky, and across America. We know that the extreme laws of Kentucky impact all of us here today. It puts our lives, health, and privacy at risk, and we cannot stand for that. That's scary. What's even scarier is what comes next. We need to work together to change the trajectory of our future history so that here in Louisville, in Kentucky, and across America, anyone who wants abortion has access to it, that women have the right to their own medical decisions, that all of us have the right to privacy. In Louisville, we need to do everything possible to limit the damage that this decision is going to do to those of us in Louisville and to people across this Commonwealth. And as everyone here has said today, how do you all help do it? We organize, we vote, and before you vote, ask every candidate who you're thinking of voting for where they stand on this issue. Ask the candidates for judge. Ask the candidates for U.S. Rep and Senate. We know where they stand. Ask the candidates for State House and Representative. For Metro Council, every elected official matters on this issue. So let's make our next U.S. Senator Charles Booker. Let's make our next U.S. Congressman Morgan McGarvey, and let's vote together to protect people across America. Thank you all.
Thank you, Craig. You know, we've had true leadership for a long time in Frankfort, and there's been some constants. We've had Representative Mary Lou Margin, who's been unafraid to stand for access. And we've also had Representative Joni Jenkins, mentor to me, a leader in the community. Both Representative Mary Lou Margin and Joni Jenkins ended their tenure this session. I want to recognize Joni and call her up on the spot just really quickly. Come on, Joni!
Oh, thank you. I love you guys. You know, back in 1994, I first ran for office. I was the first woman in that neck of the town to do it. People didn't think that girl could win, and I won that first primary by 10 votes. And in 2019, I was elected the first woman to lead a caucus. 10 votes made that happen. So there's a lot of people here. And all of you know 10 people who aren't voting, don't you? Well, you all make damn sure they're registered and they get to the polls in November. Now is the time. I'm mad as hell. I gotta tell you, I'm mad as hell. I'm sad. I'm scared, but I'm madder than anything else. And you know what? We can sit here and we can bitch and we can moan, but we can take action. And now's the time to take action. Between now and October, let's register these people. Let's get them to the polls and let's educate them. Teach them how to talk to candidates. Teach them how to make good decisions when they get in that voting booth. We cannot afford to let the grass grow underneath us. It is time for action. So every one of you, promise me, you're going to find at least 10 people and register them to vote, and if you do 100, that's even better. You know, it's great for us to come out here and yell and hold signs, and I love it, but We need action. Everybody here needs to do some real work and recruit other people to do the real work. Thank you for coming out. And I know I'm going to see you all again. And you all do the hard work. I'm going to be doing the hard work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's my representative. All right, next up we have Mayor Greg Fisher.
Your city will do everything we can to make sure women have access to safe choices for their own health care. Now, what the hell is going on with the Supreme Court of the United States of America? In 2 days, they have made our country immeasurably more dangerous. Yesterday, they loosened gun laws so that states that had tighter gun laws, common sense gun laws, can no longer have those. They've introduced more guns to our streets than ever before. Today, they have made a woman trying to have her own choice more dangerous. That's what they've done today. I think of the girls, the women. I think of my daughters and my granddaughters. Today, what they did to each and every female in America is they made you lesser than. They made you the other. And if that pisses you off, it is time to get out and vote.
That is enough. That's enough. That is enough.
Freedom of press.
No, that's not what we're talking about today. Today, a woman has been arrested in Cincinnati because she went to go get an abortion. So we're talking about if you're going to organize, then get your ass to organizing. We can be angry any other day. But today, I need his ass to do what the hell he's supposed to do. Has a place to hold abortion safe, and I need his ass to move on that. So then you need to hear what he has to say. Everything is not about the space that you make it unless you build it. You gotta build it. Now I need you to build it. I'm not here to argue with you today and about that shit. I'm an abortion doula, and by helping and planning somebody, I could be arrested. So I'm going to talk about that when we get our asses down the street. So what I need for you all to do is not only vote, but also make sure you see every last one of these faces up here that keep talking about elected positions and shit, because you're going to have to move them. You're going to have to move them. You're going to have to make sure they stay updated on what is happening at the grassroots level to actually get it done. And I want to hear what the fuck he has to say, because I need his ass to move some local legislation right now that's going to keep that fucking clinic open. That is going to keep the clinic open where a black woman performs abortion on women in Kentucky. Where a black woman has been threatened with her life performing abortion in Kentucky. So know who the hell you are fucking with right now. All of y'all.
I'll just close by saying, if you've had enough, say it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Get out and vote.
Hands off our bodies! 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 We're gonna bring out the fearless pastor, Representative Pam Stevenson.
On this day, the Supreme Court told 50% of us, you don't matter. Now, if you think that abortions are going to stop. They're not. But what they said is, we don't care about you dying, because the people that got money will find a way to get them. And we especially don't care about black women, because we don't care if you live or if you die. So today, on this day, they have said 50% of you are not citizens. You're not part of this democratic process. You don't have a right to your own body. You don't have a right to vote. You don't have a right to privacy. You don't have a right to be with your doctor. Now, your choice is clear. They have told you who they are. Who are you? Don't let us stand in the sun be for naught. Because see, if it was really about abortion and the right to life and all those things, we wouldn't have a death penalty. If we were really about taking care of children, we take care of the children that were here. If we were really about having people not get pregnant, if we were really about not having women get pregnant instead of controlling them, then you would take the weapon of impregnation What about a bill that says vasectomies for all until you can take care of a kid? A man can impregnate 10 women a day for some and 1 for others. But a woman can only be pregnant for 9 months. So it is a challenge. It's telling us that we are not a part of this great American promise. You'll do what you're told or we'll take care of you. Don't let them do that. Don't wake up. Don't wake up in a system that's an apartheid system because we were silent. Go vote and do all the things these great people told you to do and more. Don't tell your great-grandkids that you were here on a hot day and then you went home and watched Housewives of Atlanta. Thank you. I speak on behalf of the people you've elected and the people you're going to elect. We love you. We serve you. And we're not going to back down.
We've got my senator, Senator David Yates.
All right, it's too hot for me to come out and speak to the choir again. We're all here for a reason, right? How many of you mad? How many are scared? What's next? So what we got to do, we've got to be the informed people. We've got to know what's going on. Too many partisan politics and political games. The word plays have gotten away and divided. So let's know what happened. The Supreme Court of the United States has overturned Roe and Casey, which provided safety mechanisms to us. There's a triggering mechanism under KRS 311.772 that passed. I walked into this Senate and I watched the biggest array of attacks on women that's happened in decades. It has been put in place in the event the Supreme Court has overruled abortion's illegal. Now let me ask you something. When they ban abortions, do we stop abortions? We stop safe access to abortion. We know that the prohibitions don't work. Again, political games. So how do we fix it? The Supreme Court, they've acted. The only way you fix this is you vote. Not just vote, you get people to oppose to vote. If you're mad here today, grab 10 people. Know their names. Check afterwards. Did they vote? Did they turn out? If everybody here grabs 10 people, who grabs 10 people, who grabs 10 people, we will make a change in Kentucky. I need you to make a change. Let's make a change. Let's make a change.
Thank you, Senator Yates. All right. We're going to bring up one more speaker before we wrap this up. I get the pleasure of bringing up Representative Josie Raymond. Come on now. Hi, everybody. My name's Josie, and I am pissed off that the General Assembly is trying to subjugate me and you and you and you. Every single person with a uterus of childbearing age in America has always had the right to an abortion. For 50 years we had that right, and today we moved backwards in a monstrous way. Today we lost our constitutional right, but we have not lost our human right to an abortion. We, as state legislators and elected officials, will continue to fight looming attacks to criminalize pregnant women and to criminalize birth control. We will continue to introduce bills to support families like pre-K and paid leave. But all of us have work to do. We need to emphasize to everyone, everywhere, how common and normal abortion is. Even amongst conservative people. Let me hear you if you or someone you love has had an abortion. Let me hear you if you love children who need us to preserve this right for them. Let me hear you if you know happy children in happy families that were shaped by abortion. And most important of all, in the coming months, for people taking pregnancy tests today, and for people finding out the worst news of their lives at a 20-week anatomy ultrasound today, people need to know who's got their back. So I need to know, are you going to tell people how to access abortion pills? Are you going to donate to abortion funds? Are you going to provide gas money and drive somebody to Chicago? Let me hear you once and for all if you are going to help people get an abortion. Thank you, Representative Raymond. You know, Jackie and I are not alone in this fight. You've seen the electeds and those running for office who stand with us daily. But there is one individual who works very hard to make sure people can afford to get an abortion. I'm going to hand it over to the incredible executive director of the Kentucky Health Justice Network.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Aaron Smith. I am the executive director of the Kentucky Health Justice Network. I won't be long. I just want to make a few statements. Okay. The first is that we are still here. And when I first thought about that statement, I was like, we as an organization, but look at all of us. Look at the person to your left. Look at the person to your right. Look at the person in front of you and behind you. We are the we. We are still here. KHJN is going to continue to be here. We are going to continue to be here for each other. And before I get off the mic, I'm going to remind us of some things that some of us may or may not remember. Abortion access is not just a women's issue. If you do not support trans rights, you are not here. If you do not support gay rights, you are not here with us. If you do not support the Latinx, indigenous communities, Asian communities, international communities, you are not here with us. Birthing people have been harmed. Birthing people have been put in danger. Birthing people have been ignored. So as we go forward, remember that it is birthing people that have been put in danger, whose lives are at risk on a daily basis. And if we are not united, and if we are not organized, we will fail. Do you understand me? Right side, do you understand me? Do you all understand me? So let's follow through and let's continue to provide safe and healthy abortions here in the state of Kentucky.
What are we gonna do in November? What are we gonna vote no on? What are we gonna vote no on? Does the fight stop here? No! It doesn't stop here. We need you to join us for phone banks, for door knocking. We need you for the less sexy things than showing up at a rally. I need you. We need you to win. So before you leave, what are you going to do? What are you going to vote no on? Abortion is a right. Abortion is a right. Abortion is a right. Abortion is a right. Abortion is a right.
Hey everyone, PSL is having a rally at Metro City Hall right after this, so letting folks know we can be united if you feel. Oh, let me give this to Chanel.
All right. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank you for saying you're going to vote, but we actually going to take some action too, right? Because people are going to see this. We're not only going to find people to vote, we're going to mobilize them, we're going to organize them. We need more than just that. Right? So what we're going to do is, there is a march to Metro Council. Yeah, we going there too. We are going to get behind the banner of PSL. This is an organized protest because the safety of folks right now in this moment is very heightened. This is not a game. So when they ask you, you're going to support somebody that's going to get an abortion, I need you to understand that is illegal right now. I need you to understand that. That is true. So what I need you to do is to be clear about where we're getting ready to go and how we're getting ready to get there. You have not been put in a position of any type of role. You are a participant, and you will remain close to each other and who's around you, and you will walk behind the banner. Everybody hear me? Yeah. We need our elders and people with children in the front because we need them to set the pace. The people who got us here and the people that are going to take us there. You understand what I'm saying? We need people to listen to the chants, not only to say them here, but wherever you go when you get ready to fight. Understand? All right. Where are they at? Okay, PSL. PSL is the Party for Liberation, for Socialism and Liberation. They are a large national organization, thank you, who put together socialism education for the liberation of all people. They have proclaimed themselves to make sure that they fight in this fight and stand behind bodies of color, especially black women who are putting this together.
and then they're going to set up over here, and then we'll make our way down to Metro Hall.
All right. Thank you for coming out. Know that Planned Parenthood, ACLU, and Kentucky Health Justice Network needs you as volunteers, just like these candidates. Don't hesitate to find us and talk to us about how you can help fight abortion bans in Kentucky. Thank you.